I got up early and left this morning. I was in a quandary. Normally, I've only been riding between 2 and 350 miles a day because as I've gotten older, it's just harder to ride those longer days. The problem was, if I did anything other than almost 600 miles, I'd be caught in rain for 2 to 3 days. Now, the rain wasn't supposed to start till late this evening, although that's not what happened. But after leaving Calgary this morning, I really hadn't seen anything interesting today, just more of the same farm prairies. Then I ran across this. I don't know if I've actually ever seen a wooden trestle railroad bridge before, but here it is in the middle of Alberta, Canada. This is from a distance. Then about 1 o'clock, the storm showed up all around me. I was just hoping they would hold off, but they didn't. There was 5 minutes of light, followed by about 10 minutes of a hard driving rain and very strong blowing winds. Then another 5 minutes of light rain. But then that was pretty much it. There in my mirror, you can see it behind me. Those of you in Ohio and East Coast, you've been plagued by the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. Well, they've had some out west here in Canada too. I finally ran across them. They had these roads closed for the last 3 or 4 days. For the most part, the highway was open. Some of the side roads were still closed due to some spot fires. But these went on for several miles, these burns, patches. The rains that came over the last 3 or 4 days have pretty much put it out, though, out west here. As I said, this went on for several miles. And this evening I made it the almost 600 miles to Dawson Creek, and where the Alaskan Highway begins. I didn't know much about the Alaska Highway until Camille gave me a book about the Alaskan Highway and how and to ride it and what there is. In a nutshell, the U.S. government built the Alaskan Highway because up until 1942, there was no road that went past Dawson Creek to Alaska. And at that time, Alaska was still just a territory of the United States. But the government was afraid Japan would try to seize Alaska. It took the Army Corps of 16,000 men from the Army and I think 15,000 civilians or vice versa in 11 months to build this highway. At the time, it was seen as a modern miracle that they were able to complete this. These are all photos I took of information depicting the Alaskan Highway. This picture right here is a place where people from all over the world have placed stickers representing where they're from or their hometown. I didn't know anything about this, or I would have brought something. This is more description about the building of the Alaskan Highway. And this depicts the beginning, mile 0. Right at the intersection. Prior to this post, there was a stone with this plaque on it. And tomorrow morning, this is where I'll start on my way to Alaska from Dawson Creek, beginning the Alaskan Highway. It's British Columbia Route 97. Tomorrow I'll be traveling from Dawson Creek to Fort Nelson, roughly 300 miles. Good night. I hope you enjoyed the video.